Us the power of forgiveness, healing wounds, and restoring relationships. Building connections with other people is an amazing aspect of life. Our trip could be made more enjoyable and supportive by our friends, family, and even strangers we encounter. Having people we share many interests with, such as those in a career or a sport, as well as potential intellectual interests, someone we share an emotional passion with, is a big part of what gives life its genuine meaning. There are times when things like your job, school, and similar situations bring us together with people. These relationships are a true blessing in life, and they have the potential to be extremely beneficial for everyone involved. However, along with the pleasant times, there could also be instances of hurt and disappointment. These situations might result from misunderstandings or from someone intentionally trying to hurt us by putting their own interests before our feelings. These incidents almost always happen in life. That's where forgiveness comes in. It has the potential to preserve our tranquility and does much more to assist us in giving others the benefit of the doubt. Let me take you on a journey to demonstrate how forgiveness will prepare you for life, aid in the healing of scars, and in the end, aid in the restoration of relationship. Can we avoid being hurt by people? As much as we might wish to avoid being hurt, it's almost impossible to escape it entirely. Jesus was in a conversation with his disciples in Luke chapter 17, verse 1, and he said, "It is impossible that no offenses should come to you." Although this is a difficult thing to accept, it should give me, and the notion that we might occasionally have to cope with offenses. Offenses play a significant role in the enemy's arsenal of factors slowing individuals down in life. This assertion by Jesus also implies that we may harm individuals unwittingly in our daily lives. Point being said is, we are all human, and occasionally we hurt people without meaning to. But it's important to keep in mind that these experiences might help us develop and learn. Why is it easy to choose unforgiveness? When someone hurts us, it's normal to feel angry or upset. The pain, disappointment can be so strong that we may not want to forgive them. Unforgiveness can take root in our hearts because we believe we have the right to be angry, especially when we feel like the victim in the situation. For example, Sarah and Jane were best friends. But one day, Jane betrayed Sarah's trust by sharing a personal secret with others. Sarah felt hurt and betrayed, and she couldn't bring herself to forgive Jane for breaking their mutual trust. She believed that being angry was justified since she was the one who got hurt. Another occurrence could be Mark's co-worker, Michael, taking credit for Mark's ideas during a team meeting, leaving Mark feeling frustrated and unappreciated. He held on to the resentment because he thought he deserved to be upset since Michael had treated him unfairly. A very close example would be when Emily and her sister, Lily, had an argument that escalated into a heated fight. After the fight, Emily couldn't forgive Lily for the hurtful things she said. She believed that her anger was valid because she was the one who was hurt in the argument. We may legitimately believe we have every justification, but we unwittingly give the devil a foothold to keep us in the position of being hurt when we could have been free. To emphasize, holding on to unforgiveness can make us feel powerful and make us believe we are standing up for ourselves or expressing our rights, but it frequently gets us mired in resentment and inhibits us from moving on. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 to 27 says, "When you are angry, don't let that anger make you sin, and don't stay angry all day. Don't give the devil a way to defeat you. Why is it better to choose forgiveness? And yet, choosing forgiveness is a powerful decision that may seem difficult at first, but it brings incredible benefits and freedom to our lives. There are a few benefits I'll share with you. The first is traveling light in life. Traveling light in life comes when we exercise the power of forgiveness. When we choose forgiveness, we let go of the heavy baggage of anger, resentment, and hurt that we carry around with us. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks everywhere you go. It would weigh you down and make your journey exhausting. Similarly, holding on to grudges and unforgiveness can weigh us down emotionally and mentally. powerful. When we forgive, it's like taking off that heavy backpack and walking through life with a light heart and a clear mind. For example, Sarah was hurt when her close friend, Lisa, betrayed her trust. She felt angry and hurt, and every time she saw Lisa, she would be reminded of the pain. Sarah decided to forgive Lisa for the sake of her own well-being. As she forgave, she felt a sense of relief and freedom. She was no longer burdened by the hurt, and she could move forward with her life without the weight of resentment. Forgiveness opens the door to experience the peace of God in our lives. This is the second benefit. When we hold on to unforgiveness, our hearts become restless and our minds filled with negative thoughts. But when we choose forgiveness, we invite God's peace to dwell within us. His peace surpasses all understanding and guards our hearts and minds. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8 encourages us, saying, "For the rest, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is worthy of reverence and is honorable and seemly, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely and lovable, whatever is kind and winsome and gracious, if there is any virtue and excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think on and weigh and take account of these things." Fix your minds on them. Fix your mind on them. If you choose forgiveness, you have decided to fix your focus on the things that keep and make for your peace. An event where Mike had a strained relationship with his sibling, Alex, due to past conflicts. The tension between them caused constant stress and anxiety. However, one day Mike decided to forgive Alex for their past mistakes and hurts. As he embraced forgiveness, he experienced a sense of peace and calmness in his heart. He no longer carried the burden of resentment, and his relationship with Alex began to improve. This peace is truly a treasure. You see, the enemy will do anything and make sure you are not at peace, and he can use anything, whether what you feel legitimately hurt by or what you did to someone unknowingly. The other part of choosing forgiveness is forgiving yourself. Let's assume you did something really hurtful to someone and you never intended to make the person feel the way they did. You can make an effort to communicate you're being sorry, and they come out sharp at you, and that conversation never ends up with a peaceful resolve. The enemy could bring accusatory conversations to you, but you have to forgive yourself. While you wait for the person to forgive you, you also need the peace of God in your heart, so the wisdom of God could flow more to you on how to really help this other person forgive you and find peace. Lastly, many strained relations have been restored on the generosity of forgiveness. Forgiveness has the power to restore broken relationships and bring healing to both parties involved. When we forgive, we open the door for reconciliation and a chance to rebuild trust and love. I remember Jessica and Emily, who were close friends until a misunderstanding caused a rift between them. They stopped talking and grew distant. However, after some time, Jessica chose to forgive Emily and reached out to her to talk things through. As they forgave each other, they were able to rebuild their friendship and strengthen their bond. Now, they are doing great things together for God. One biblical example of forgiveness is found in the story of Jacob and Esau in the book of Genesis chapter 27, verse 33. Jacob and Esau were twin brothers, and their relationship was marked by rivalry and conflict. The conflict between Jacob and Esau began when Jacob deceived their father, Isaac, to receive the blessing that was meant for Esau. This act of deception caused Esau great pain and anger, and he vowed to kill Jacob in retaliation. Fearing for his life, Jacob fled from his family and lived far away for many years. After a long period of separation, God instructed Jacob to return to his homeland. As Jacob prepared to meet Esau again, he was filled with fear and uncertainty about how his brother would receive him. Jacob sent messengers ahead to Esau with gifts, hoping to appease him. However, when the messengers returned, they informed Jacob that Esau was coming to meet him with 400 men. This news heightened Jacob's anxiety and fear. He divided his family possessions into two groups, hoping that if Esau attacked one group, the other could escape. On the night before their encounter, Jacob was left alone And a mysterious man wrestled with him until daybreak. This man was actually God, and during the struggle, Jacob clung to him, refusing to let go until he received a blessing. God touched Jacob's hip, leaving him with a permanent limp, but also blessed and changed his name to Israel, which means he struggles with God. The next day, as Jacob approached Esau, he humbled himself, bowing down 7 times as a sign of respect. But to his surprise, Esau ran to meet him and embraced him with genuine love and forgiveness. Esau had let go of his anger and resentment towards Jacob and chose to forgive him. Despite the pain and betrayal, Esau chose to let go of his grudge and extend forgiveness to his brother. This act of forgiveness brought healing and reconciliation between the 2 brothers, and they parted ways in peace. The example of Jacob and Esau teaches us that forgiveness is a choice we can make, even in the face of great hurt and betrayal. It shows us the transformative power of forgiveness in restoring relationships and bringing about healing and reconciliation. Forgiveness is not just an event, but a heart posture. Forgiveness is more than saying the words, "I forgive." It's a heart posture, a decision we make to let go of the hurt and choose love and compassion instead. It's a process that takes time and effort, but it's worth it. It's also the foundation for forbearance. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13 says, "Don't be angry with each other, but forgive each other. If you feel someone has wronged you, forgive them. Forgive others because the Lord forgave you." Whether you have been hurt or you have not, your heart must be a heart furnished with forgiveness. An unforgiving heart is a stiff heart, and a stiff heart means a stiff atmosphere in your life. Offenses will block the flow of God's resources in your life if you hold on to them. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 encourages us, saying, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life." When we suspect occurrences that can tamper with our hearts begin to arise, we must learn to begin to safeguard our peace, declaring, "I am a fountain of peace, I won't be troubled. I may be hurt, but I won't be a slave to unforgiveness. I have the peace of God in my surroundings, and no inconvenient situation will cause me to surrender my peace." With affirmations like this, we open ourselves to the help of the Holy Spirit to keep our souls guarded of the pending hurt that may or may not arise from the happening. It is important to also affirm that forgiving someone doesn't mean we forget what happened or pretend that it never occurred. It means we acknowledge the pain but choose not to let it control our lives. We free ourselves from the chains of the past and embrace a brighter future. Imagine forgiveness as a magical backpack that lightens your load. When you forgive, you no longer carry the heavy weight of grudges and anger. Instead, you can journey through life with more joy, peace, and freedom. I'm fully aware of how challenging this can be. If you ever find yourself in such a situation, be honest about how you're feeling, talk to God about it, and cry if necessary, but ultimately resolve that you want to be free. Make the decision to live above it and then ask God for guidance. God cares about your heart and wants to assist you resolve anything that is disrupting your peace of mind. He is not simply preoccupied with parting red seas and walking on water. Making the decision to forgive is a potent tool for moving through life lightly, mending relationships, and healing scars. The actual power is in letting go, despite the temptation to hold onto unforgiveness. Forgiveness is a state of mind, a path to recovery, and a way to a better tomorrow. In accepting forgiveness, we free ourselves from the weight of the past and are able to enjoy life to the fullest. Let's then let the superpower of forgiveness work its magic in our life and interpersonal connections. If you have been blessed by this message, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're blessed.